Hello everyone, I'm Patrick, and today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I've been seeing a lot recently, and that's, should Link from The Legend of Zelda be a woman? Now, I've seen a lot of people kind of dismiss this as well, of course he should be a man, don't be stupid, or basically just kind of writing this off as women, feminists and PC people complaining that there aren't enough empowering female roles in video games and movies and media in general and blah 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 blah, shit like that. And so then they just dismiss the argument, saying that it's dumb and shouldn't even be had in the first place. And I disagree with that. I think that this is a discussion kind of worth having, not for the PC nature of it. Now, the argument I see a lot of people saying when it comes to this is well, Link's a man. That's just his character. You wouldn't go around changing male characters to female characters or female characters to male characters just to appease the crowds, would you? That'd be ridiculous. And yes, that would be ridiculous, but here's the problem. Link doesn't have a character. What can you really say about him in certain Legend of Zelda games that would give him a character? In Ocarina of Time, he's kinda sleepy. In Twilight Princess, he's a farmhand. In A Link Between Worlds, he's a blacksmith's apprentice. In A Link to the Past, he's... No, don't get me wrong, there are definitely Zelda games that have him show more character than others, such as Skyward Sword or Wind Waker, mainly through expressions. Not really through any actual character development, mainly just sometimes he'll make a face. Sometimes he'll make a different face. But you see my point, Link doesn't really have a character. For instance, why does he quest for Zelda? Well, he just does it. Why does the wind blow? Who can say? And sometimes, you're given a reason, she's a childhood friend. But other times, someone just tells you, yo, go save the princess, bitch. And Link's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do that. My point here primarily is that Link does not have any discernible traits that would even make a semblance of a character. He's just kind of a blank slate to make it easier to identify yourself as him. Now, I know, some people are going to bring up the Legend of Zelda cartoon series, where he was shown to have a lot of character, and even spoke, and had a lot of discerning characteristics, even a catchphrase. But, you could say the same about the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. In that show, he was shown to have a lot of personality, and even an obsession with spaghetti. I mean, pasta power, fucking Jesus. But just look at the games that took place after the show. He never showed any of them. He never screamed pasta power during any of the games. He never did any of the other things that he possibly did in the show. Full disclosure, I only watched one episode, and I almost killed myself because it was fucking terrible. But so my same argument would apply to Link as well. He showed lots of personality in the show, yet it never carried over into the games. On top of that, in almost every single Legend of Zelda game, it's a different Link every time. So it's not even like these character traits of him being sleepy, a farmhand, a blacksmith, even carry over into each other. It's a different guy every time. So it doesn't even really matter. And on top of that, Link doesn't even grow as a character throughout his journey. He just stays the stoic, emotionless blank slate that he is. My point being, I can kind of see someone's frustration when they go to play an RPG, and essentially RPGs are self-insert fan fictions at the video game. That's really what they are when you boil down to it. So I can imagine the frustration when you go to play a modern RPG these days. I'm talking about the newer Zelda games. When you go to play a modern RPG and it says input your name, and you're like, okay, I'll input my name and I'll make myself and this will be an awesome adventure. And it's like, oh, well, guess what? You get to eat shit because you're a man and you look like this. Sorry, my hands are tied. It's to the character. And that's the main thing I really think Legend of Zelda needs to evolve with, is character customization, because Link's not a character. He's a blank slate. And I feel like to have him be treated as a character is just kind of weird. I mean, at the very least, they should let you select your gender, like in Pokemon games. You get to insert your name and pick a gender. Sure, you don't get to customize what you look like, but hey, it's better than nothing. And I mean, even look at the Pokemon. In the first Pokemon game, you pick your own name and your gender, and yet everyone still refers to the main character as Red whenever they talk about that game. It could be the same thing with Legend of Zelda. You could pick your own name and gender, but still refer to the character as Link, and Link could be completely genderless. Who gives a shit? Like, what does it matter, honestly, if he's a man or a woman? He discerns no characteristics of being male or female, other than the fact that people say him. That's it. Sometimes he's not even portrayed as being sexually attracted to Zelda. They're more like childhood friends or even strangers who've never even had a conversation once before. I personally would argue that I would prefer my Legend of Zelda games to have a shit ton of character customization like most RPGs these days, like with Dragon Age or some shit like that. Now, naturally, I know it's never going to go that far because typically Japanese RPGs don't do the whole completely customize your character from head to toe thing. They prefer to stick with just name and gender, and sometimes not even that. Sometimes it's just name, and sometimes it's just, eat shit, you're this guy. You see, there's a reason for that in most other JRPGs, and that's because the story is based on a strict narrative with character arcs showing who your character was and who he grows into. Link doesn't ever come anywhere close to experiencing anything near that. He's just a fucking hero man. Here I am, hero man, come to save the kingdom. Well, I've saved the kingdom, I'm gone now. What a character. That's really worth preserving, isn't it? So in conclusion, should Link be a woman? No, I don't really think so. I think his gender should be up for grabs as to what he is. You know, make him a man or a woman, however you feel, instead of just being stuck as a man when it honestly makes no difference. Alright, so that's just been my 2 cents on the subject. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments. I'm Patrick, and I'll see you next time.